All right. Hey, lovies. We are back again with another interview for A Little Perspective. I know that we started these last month with Dwarfism Awareness Month, and I'm just going to continue them because there's so many amazing LPs that I have the blessing to have on my Facebook timeline, and I would love to be able to interview as many as I can to share their story and just really normalize, people with dwarfism. And so tonight I'm interviewing Jalinn. She is a young lady who I am Facebook friends with her mom, and saw her mom posting about her, and I thought that is someone that I want to interview. And her mom eagerly said yes, which I was so glad for, because I would certainly understand if she said no. And asked Jalinn, and then Jalinn said yes. So super excited about that. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. Jalinn, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Jalinn. I'm 10 years old. I live with my mom and dad. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Oh, are you where do you fall in that? Are you the oldest, youngest, middle?
I'm the youngest.
Oh, you're the baby.
She's the spoiledest, as they always say.
I was gonna say, do your brothers and sisters say that you always get your way and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you normally get your way?
Yes.
They usually don't admit it, but I'm glad that you admit it. That's funny. So you have dwarfism. What kind of dwarfism do you have?
Achon.
Okay, so you're achondroplasia like me. And what state do you live in?
What state?
I don't know.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Oh, okay. Is it cold up there? Oh, you froze.
Not right now.
Kinda.
Have you had your first snow yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I live on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so we don't have all that pesky snow stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had it a couple of days before Halloween, so
Nice.
not ready for it, but then it happened.
Ready or not.
Yeah.
So Jalinn, are you the first generation little person? Are your mom and dad are average height?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that feel odd, or it doesn't? You don't notice, or no?
I don't really notice.
Yeah. Are you guys involved in LPA at all?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. We just got involved last year, and we just started a chapter in Mississippi last month. So the first chapter in Mississippi in decades, and so we're really excited about that.
Awesome.
Can't wait for all this stuff to settle so we can actually gather and meet and hang out. And hopefully, you guys, we can go to nationals together and we can meet. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest is 11, so I would love for her to meet others like her, because we don't really have very many LPs down here on the coast. So I know that you have had some surgeries because of your dwarfism, or indirect result of your dwarfism. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I have had spinal decompression surgery, 3 sets of ear tubes, and one of them was to fix a hole in my ear. What are those called?
She had her adenoids removed and eye stents, and also she's had some dental surgery. So her decompression surgery was done at 10 months old up in Wisconsin.
That was going to be, excuse me, my next question is, how old was she when she had the decompression surgery?
Yeah, 10 months old. We started, she had an MRI done at 3 months old, just to kind of get a baseline. And then at 9 months, we did another one because we noticed she wasn't using the left side of her body. And so the doctors here in Kansas City aren't well reversed with dwarfism, and so once we got the scans, and they told us that she needed a shunt put in, but I wasn't 100% sure. Doing my own research and talking with other parents of little people and people like you yourself, because you guys have all gone through it, you know what's happening. I feel like we have to become doctors ourselves. I had got a hold of Dr. Polly up in Wisconsin and sent all of our scans up there. And they said, we need you here in about 3 days, surgeries in a couple of days. And we got up there, and what should have been a 2 to 3 hour surgery turned into 8 hours. They lost her twice on the table because of the brain function. So that date is October 27th. I always say that's her rebirth day, because if that surgery wouldn't have happened, she probably wouldn't be with us today, or completely different. She was not using the whole left side of her body. You could see the black spots on the spinal cord where they were essentially dying.
Yeah.
And within 24 hours, she rolled over and looked at her older brother, and had never held a bottle within 24 hours. So that surgery literally saved her life. It was a miracle. Yeah. But then after that, it's just been the ear tubes and stuff like that. But still,
Not that scary anymore.
yeah, she's gotten used to them now. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Excuse me. Sorry. That is absolutely incredible. I'm on a call. Sorry.
you're good.
I cannot imagine what that felt like for you, Mom, with that long of a surgery. That wasn't supposed to be that long.
Yeah, I will say the saving grace was that we had our 3 older children with us. And so we had gotten their schoolwork, and so I was helping them with their schoolwork. Dad handled it a little different. He walked away for a while. He couldn't do it. I think dads are, they're strong on the outside, but when their babies are hurt and they're even, it's harder for them.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we just held the faith and knew that she was gonna be okay. My parents were with us. They ended up coming up to Wisconsin to be with us. My husband's parents were back here at home, and keeping them updated constantly on what was going on. But and to have the support that I had with parents of little people and other little people around the world, essentially, during that time frame, because it was all so new to us, was a blessing. I will say that meeting all of these people just via Facebook, you become family with them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to meet some of them in person, because we talk on a regular basis and, see each other, what our kids are doing and everything. So it was a challenge, but overall, she did amazing. So.
Yeah. You definitely form a connection that you wouldn't necessarily form with just online friends, because the likenesses and things that you can bond over are certainly unique. That's for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah. When was the last tube surgery that you had?
That was in August of 2018, sis?
I think.
Yeah. Yep. So
Okay.
It's been a while.
Good.
So.
I haven't had a surgery for like 2 years.
Yeah. And what did the ENT tell us last time we were there?
That I could be released.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's got to be good. I had tubes. So for those who are watching that don't know, tubes are this tiny little thing that prop open your eardrum to allow it to drain. Because with being a little person, our sinuses are shorter and tend to hold fluid. I'm sure that there's a better explanation than that, but that's the best I got. And so the tubes hold the eardrum open to allow it to drain, because otherwise the fluid stays in there and it gets infected. And obviously repeat infections can cause permanent damage to the actual eardrum and to cause hearing loss and things like that. And so it's really very, very common to have that growing up as an ACON. At least I'm not as well versed in the other diagnoses. And I had several times. I actually had to have this ear canal reconstructed, eardrum reconstructed, because I had them so many times. There's like a scar back here that I sometimes can feel. And my girls haven't. Aiden had to have them once, I believe, and Malika has not had to have them, surprisingly. They did have a couple of ear infection issues, but nothing enough to warrant repeated tubes, especially not 30 times. So that is something. And luckily it is an outpatient, surgery, but it's still a surgery. You still have to go under and do all the fun stuff that goes along with it. So, and then the same with the tonsils and adenoids, another, this whole area can just be troublesome. And so it's not uncommon for that to have to be removed either. So enough about surgeries. Tell us about sports. How did you get involved? And, Mom, tell us how you felt about allowing her to get involved. Who originally kind of brought it up? Jalinn, did you originally say, hey, Mom, I want to do this, or did Mom bring it up?
My friends brought up a volleyball, so that's how I started playing volleyball. And then for softball and t-ball, my dad coached my brother, so I started playing when I could.
We live in a small town, and so my husband helps coach with the Little League. And so she, of course, watched, and she has 2 older sisters as well that have played volleyball and cheer and all of that fun stuff in high school. And so she has watched it since, she's been able to, since I toted around at every practice and games. Mm-hmm. And so she's always been interested in it. She started out, of course, with t-ball at the age of 5. And then she's in, what grade are you in now? 5th grade. And so volleyball we started in 3rd grade. And she has excelled. She is, I will say her strike zone is about like this. So when, when she gets up to the plate, she either hits it or she walks. And what's comical is watching these girls that are, of course, twice her size, come up to pitch to her. They're scared to. And we were at one game and the girl almost was like bowling the ball to her. And her coach was like, she is a regular person. Just throw the ball at her. Guarantee she's going to hit it. I've seen her hit it. And
she's not
she
going to break.
does it. And the same with volleyball. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and she loves it. And we want her to do it. It's a great activity for her to keep in shape. I always worry about, the looks and the stares and, the comments that you're going to get from going from, this town to this town. But overall, we haven't had any negative comments, which has been great. We live in like I said, a small community, and our community will back her, I think, 100% if something happens like that. She's got a few boys in her class that I think will go after some kiddos if they try to hurt her.
Even in the other 5th grade class.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you started out young. That's incredible. Mom, did you have any hesitation, especially with having had the decompression surgery? Because I know that there's talk of being concerned of falling and neck damage and that kind of thing. So her having had that at a young age, were you concerned at all, or you just figured we'll be safe? Or
we played it safe. She has not done any, I would say, like football or soccer to where it's more, contact types of, yeah. So
I'm the basketball manager.
Yeah, she's the basketball manager with her team. So, but, that's a little bit more to where they're up in each other's face. T-ball and softball, she kind of can do her own thing. You do have that occasion, but they're still at that younger age to where they're not really stealing home a lot to try to get into base. Now she has stolen home and she has gotten in, and it's shocked some people, which has been awesome.
When I steal bases and actually hit the ball, a lot of people get shocked.
Yeah.
Jalinn, do you think that people, like the other teams, do you think they underestimate you and make assumptions maybe about what you can and can't do sometimes?
It matters what team it is. Some teams and some not teams.
Yeah.
If I know a couple of the players on the teams, not really, but if I don't and they're like new schools and stuff, I think they will.
Yeah. I bet that's got to be. Do you find a little bit of amusement deep down when you do something and you know that they thought you wouldn't do it and you did it and you're like, haha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh, I bet that's good stuff. Volleyball is something I hated volleyball in PE. I was not a sports girl, just in general, but in PE, you play different sports and I hated volleyball because I could not get that damn ball over that net. Like, I don't know how you do it. That's incredible.
It's a lot of practice, isn't it, sis?
Yeah. Most of the time for volleyball, I start getting it over the net at the end of the year.
That's awesome. Which sport is your favorite?
And her coaches have worked really hard. Oh, sorry. I was going to say her coaches have worked really good with her.
I'm
trying to figure out.
You froze. Go ahead and start your answer over. I'm sorry.
Okay. Her coaches have really worked with her on trying to figure out the best way to get her to serve it because she does not want to. Our organization for Little League has told her that she can move up closer to the net to get it over. She has chosen not to do that. She wants to be able to serve where the rest of the girls serve, and which I think is great. So this year she figured out how to rock the ball or rock her body, and then she gets that power with her arm. And you've seen the video. She's a powerhouse when it comes to it. So in the same with, I can't wait. Unfortunately, we didn't get to have softball season this year because of COVID. But once we can get back out there, I'm sure she will do it and be great at it. So.
Yeah, I've seen it. It is remarkable for sure. And I love that you don't want to just take the easy way out, that you want to do it like the other girls. That will serve you well through your entire life for sure. And I apologize. I talked over you. My internet is not ideal and you froze, and so I didn't realize you were still speaking, and so I started.
No, you're fine. It happens to ours too. So.
So which sport would you say is your favorite then, Jalinn?
Probably volleyball.
Yeah. Do you
Because softball can be a little bit more hard than volleyball.
Gotcha. Is that's why it's your favorite, because you feel like you're better at it?
Yeah.
What grade are you in?
Fifth.
So this is like a little league, like city league kind of thing?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so it goes all the way through until 6th grade. So, and then she'll go to middle school if she chooses to play in middle school.
Yeah.
I will.
That was going to be my next question.
She keeps telling me in volleyball she wants to spike the ball, and I said, when you can jump and hit the bottom of the net, we'll talk about spiking it, sis. Because for jumps like this off the ground. So
yeah, but I mean, it's not impossible. It's just going to take a lot of practice.
Yep.
Nope.
And if anybody can do it, girl, it's you. That's for sure. That is for sure. Oh, I love it. So what's your favorite subject in school?
Probably either grammar or writing.
Oh, good. Writing is a great skill to have. I didn't understand that in junior high, and but as an adult, it really helps in a lot of different ways. So I know your mom said that you guys really haven't had any issues with any kind of negative talk or anything like that from other teams, and obviously not from your team. Do you feel like, luckily you live in a small town that rallies around you, so do you feel like you have any any bullying issues or any points and stares or anything like that?
Sometimes when new kindergartners come in the school, they stare at me, but they don't. Most of the time, they don't say mean stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kindergartners are the worst, and I'm just gonna say that. And I know that they're innocent little kids and they don't mean anything. But when I was in elementary school, the kindergartners were the quote unquote problem. You know, they're obviously just staring or whatever, but it's so annoying.
Mhm.
So annoying. Well, I'm glad that that's the worst of it. I really, I didn't have any of those real issues either, and I know that some do. So I'm glad, and my girls don't either. Everybody loves them, and I'm sure everybody loves you, Jalinn. So, and that's a testament to who you are as well. So that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. So do you think that on the flip side, do you think that you get any kind of like benefit or passes for because you're a little person?
Mm, Sometimes for volleyball, we have to run like 2 laps for stretches, and we have this big red line that goes around the whole basketball court. Most of the time, I don't have to run that. I just have to like run a white line.
Gotcha. Well, in all fairness, you're really running the same amount of steps. So that's not a huge it's not a huge pass, but yeah, that's good. That's good. Because we take like 2 or 3 steps for their one. So that's
We
awesome.
we try to hold her to the standards of what her other siblings are. You know, it is a little bit more difficult, I would say, because she is the baby of the family. And she kind of gets away with a lot more. And she's the baby of the grandkids on both sides of the family, too. So, yeah, if that says anything.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah.
But I think what says the most is the fact that she admits it, because if you were to ask my youngest, she would vehemently deny it and believe that she would probably believe that she's the most mistreated of the 3 of them, and the other 2 think that she's rotten, and she's rotten, because when you have more than 2 kids or even 2 kids, Mama's tired, and the youngest ends up getting away with a little more. So
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I will admit that. But we try to hold her to her standards, and our school does a really good job too about that. And we've had a few teachers that are like, okay, Mom, you have to quit being her advocate. She's got to do it herself. If she needs something changed at school, she'll tell us. And she has now gotten to that point to where she'll just walk up to the custodian and say, hey, I need the swing lowered, or I need a new trash can here because I can't reach it. You know, she's gotten to that point where she does it all on her own now. I really, I'll say something in the beginning of the school year because it's still a little timid, that's beginning. But her teacher, we had conferences a couple weeks ago, and she was like, she tells me if she needs something. So, which is great.
that is awesome, and good, good job. That's still a reflection, on you, Mom, too. Like, again, that will do you very well throughout your entire life, because you have to speak up for yourself. Otherwise, you won't necessarily have someone to speak up for you, and learning how to do it at a young age, and it makes it more natural. And so then it doesn't feel nerve-wracking, or it doesn't feel like it's a confrontation, because it's not a confrontation. It's just simply, speaking up for yourself. So way to go, Jalinn. That's awesome. Keep that up for sure. So Jalinn, is there anything that you wish that people knew about you, either just you, who you are, or you as a little person?
That we're the same people as they are.
Yeah. And I think that you are living that. You are truly, showing that through and through. So that's awesome. I see a lot of advocacy for others in your future, just by being yourself unapologetically. So I'm excited about this next generation of LPs. I love that so many average height parents want to bring in older LPs to kind of help them raise their children in the best way between what they want, and then also through experiences. I'm so grateful for Facebook for bringing this together. You mentioned a couple of the groups, and I'm sure a lot of the people that are watching don't know what you're speaking of, but there are a few Facebook groups that are specifically for parents of children with dwarfism, and it can be such an incredible resource, especially when 80% of LPs nowadays are born to average height parents. That every time I speak that statement, that piece of information, it just blows my mind. It's so.
It does. Yeah, I would have never known, and we didn't know about her until about her dwarfism. It's just at birth. We found out right after birth.
Mm-hmm.
I always ask my mom and my dad how they had me when they're average height.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I tell you?
Oh.
You don't know. You can't remember because you forget each time. It's a spontaneous mutation of the gene, and you're special. That's all it is. You were born special.
Jalinn, what do you say when people, or especially like other kids, especially kindergartners, ask you why do you look like that, or why are you so little? What's your go-to response to that?
I either tell them about dwarfism and like what it is, and then I have it, or I just tell their teacher.
Nice.
Because most of the time I know all the teachers in the school.
Yeah. Nice. My go-to response is because that's the way God made me. That tends to work well, and there's obviously no harm in kids, especially kids, asking questions, or anyone asking a genuine question. But kids, that answer tends to, and then if they're still like, I still don't get it, then I'm like, I have, brownish hair, you have blonde hair, you wear glasses, I don't wear glasses, we're all different. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they just kind of move along usually. So I love that you're like, well, I have dwarfism and this is what it is, and da-da-da-da. So that's great. That's really wonderful. So Jalinn, I know this is a trick question or an unfair question for young people sometimes, I think, but what do you want to be when you grow up?
Either a teacher or a doctor.
Oh. Do you have a why behind either of those? Like, what do you think you would enjoy about being a teacher, and what do you think you'd enjoy about being a doctor?
For being a teacher is just seeing kids and teaching, because I like to teach stuff.
Yeah.
Then I don't know for a doctor. Just my sister wants my sister is encouraging me to be a doctor.
Which sister?
Taylor.
Oh, Taylor is.
Yeah.
What does Taylor want to be when she grows up?
Nurse.
Oh.
She's going to schooling right now, so.
Oh, okay. I got
you. There's a big age span. She's 20, she's 10, so we've got a nice age span of children.
Gotcha. Sis wants you to start a practice so she can go work for you. That's what it is. That's awesome. Well, there are a couple of, I'm sure there's several, but I can, Jen on that. I don't really watch many of the shows, but I'm familiar with the little couple, and Jen is a doctor. And then I know there's a few nurses and doctors on Facebook that I'm friends with. And at one point I thought I wanted to be a nurse, and I honestly, truthfully, I did not go into the field because I thought that it would be too hard for me as a little person. I have since changed my perspective on that, but that is honestly why I did not. I wanted to go into pediatric nursing for a little bit there, and that was why. So I'm glad to hear that you are not hesitating in any way to let your dwarfism dictate something for you. And then there's several teachers too. I interviewed Samantha. She does preschool, and then John I think he's like middle school or high school, which teaching is definitely, like, kids are not my thing. I mean, I have kids, but like having to deal with kids all day, that would not be my thing. But I probably would have hesitated in that as well, just because having to be in front of people like just would make me so nervous. But you're in front of people all the time with your sports, so I love your confidence. I love your go get it attitude. I mean, you are an incredible young lady, Jalinn. I'm very, very, very excited to see what the future holds for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know it feels uncomfortable when people compliment you, but you'll get used to it, believe me. All right, Jalinn and Mom, is there anything else that you guys want to say that maybe I didn't touch on that we want to talk about?
No.
I don't think so. You know, I think for the audience, I think they just need to realize that for all little people, they can do anything we as average height individuals can do. It's just might be a little bit different, and let them do it, because guess what? You all are rock. You guys rock. Watching her go from being a very shy person when she was in kindergarten and very timid to what she is now, and very, as we say, she has a better social life than the rest of the family because she's always on the go with her friends, is great, and we love to see it. So, and we want that for all of our kids, not just her, but we want it for all of them. And that's about it. So
yeah, so true, and that's incredible. I'm glad you have friends. Good friends make all the difference, and I'm glad you have that, Jalinn. So, well, thank you again, ladies, for talking with me and for doing this interview. I'm so grateful, and I really enjoyed getting to know you guys a little bit more. I really do hope that next year. Baltimore is so far away from us. I was really looking forward to Austin. Understand why it didn't happen, but Austin is a drive. Baltimore is a flight. So,
yeah,
but I do hope to meet you ladies next year for sure.
most definitely. Yeah, we hope we can get up there as well. But if you're ever up in this area, let us know, and we'll let you know if we're down there. So
yeah, please do. I'm right by New Orleans, so if you just decide to go to New Orleans, let me know. We'll hop over and visit.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to go there this summer because we were going to go down to Florida for vacation and then over to New Orleans. But of course, COVID
Yeah.
ruined everything. So
that's the like end of the sentence of the year.
yes.
COVID. All right, ladies. Well, thank you again, and I will post this, and if anybody has any questions or anything, so this is recorded, but if anybody has any questions, post it in the comments, and either myself or Jalinn or her mom will answer whatever questions you have. That's what part of what this is about, awareness. And so and I can't wait to see what your future holds, Jalinn. Bye, y'all.
Bye.